my viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. My top 10 edge rushers entering the 2023 season in the NFL. So this is my list of my top 10 edge rushers, entering the season like that. So based off of what they did last year, of course, but what they do in their entirety like that. There's like their dominance and stuff like that. So I'm ranking them on the best 10 ones in the NFL. My runner-ups that they didn't make the list, but was very close to making the list. Trey Henderson from the Bengals, Mr. No Gloves, go out there, is very relentless. He plays very hard and a spectacular player. Von Miller, Von Miller is an absolute beast, a future Hall of Fame famer, two-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, multiple-time All-Pro. He got a lot of All-Pros. I think like 7 of them, like 6 or 7 of them. It's a lot of them like that. And then a lot of Pro Bowls. Of course, he's one of a kind like that. He's one of the best, if not the best, of this generation. The pass rushing, him and J.J. Watt and stuff like that. Those are some of the best guys. But Von Miller is the reason the Bills paid him that crazy amount of money. Remember, I saw the contract. I was like, they paid him a lot of money. I don't know about that. But you see his dominance. He might be older and the injuries might be piling up on him a little bit on the past few years, but his dominance, the way he can go out there and take over a game in the fourth quarter, that's all you need, because like the Bills felt like they had a team that's built for a Super Bowl. And the only thing they need was that piece of that edge rusher, that guy who can take them home, that guy who can close out the game, that closer. And they got Von Miller, and he was doing that early on before he got the injury, the ACL tear. And the Bills could have really used Von Miller as well. There you go. Bills could have really used Von Miller as well at that time, but Von Miller's an amazing player, but he just didn't make the cut on the list right fast. But I got him at 11. And then I got Darius Smith. Darius Smith like that is another guy too as well. Darius Smith, former Raven. The Ravens, we seen him go out there and make a little splash here and there. But then we got to the Packers. That's when he kind of like took off. He started playing even better and stuff. And then now with the Vikings, he's been playing at a good level. I believe he had 10 sacks last year. He's a guy who can get after the quarterback. A very powerful pass rusher, edge rusher, and just wreaking havoc and stuff. But now let's get to the top 10 list. Top 10 list. At number 10, we got Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack is one of the best in this era, one of the best guys. Remember with the Bears, the way he did was amazing. And now with the Chargers, I know last year he had his counterpart, Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa is very good when he's healthy too as well. Yes, I stay healthy. That's the only concern about him is the health. But Khalil Mack went out there and made things happen, made plays happen. I believe he had 8.5 sacks last year, and the pressures he got last year, you just see like the force he can bring, and just like the presence he bring, the double, like in a way like teams like respect it, because they like double teams and stuff happening, and him being a little older. I think he's 32, 33 years old. I think getting a little older, but he's still able to go out there and produce at a high level and still be a very effective edge rusher, and that's why he's on the list. Number 9, I had Matthew Judon. Matthew Judon, he had 15.5 sacks. Last year. Matthew Judon was a guy who, he was on the Ravens at first, because, I remember he used to play against us all the time, against the Steelers all the time. I'm a Steelers fan, if you guys don't know, if you're new to the channel. But Matthew Judon used to be mixing splash here and there like that. He had moments and stuff. But the only thing about Matthew Judon, like when he's not, so sometimes his presence don't be felt as much like that. But I feel like last year with the Patriots, his presence was felt. This was the first year that I feel like his presence was felt like that. He had 15.5 sacks, and like when he wasn't getting sacked, he still was creating and causing havoc like that, wreaking havoc. Sometimes some players might not get the sack. We see the guys like some of the best in the league, they might not get the sack, but they create havoc and cause havoc. You're like, okay, and somebody else would eat for them like that. Like we see like J.J. Watt when he was there, and we see Aaron Donald, what he do and stuff like that. They might not get the sack all the time, but the way they play and the dominance they have and the pressure they bring to the quarterback, it calls the quarterback to get the other guys to eat and other guys to feast as well like that. I feel like Matthew Judon didn't have that early on in his career, but now for the past few years, he's been kind of like making that a thing and making that statement. He had a big time year in the Patriots. Number 8, I got Joey Bosa. The only thing about Joey Bosa, if he's fully healthy, he's definitely top 5 pass rusher, edge rusher, and stuff like that. But Joey Bosa is never healthy. We haven't seen Joey Bosa being healthy in a while. I think last year he only played 5 games. The year before that, he played like 8 or 9 games like that. It's just like hard for him to stay healthy. It's the health concern. That's the only thing about Joey Bosa. He's an amazing player, a big time player, and he's just a tackler. He's just a tackler out there, and the Chargers need him. And imagine him and Joey Bosa, him and Khalil Mack, they're the entirety, at least give them 15 games. 15 games together, they're going to cause destruction in people backfields. But you got to stay healthy. At 7, I got Brian Burns. Brian Burns is a very, very underrated pass rusher. If you've been following Brian Burns' career, I always, like me, ever since I've been, I always been following a lot of different players, a lot of different teams. My favorite team, the Steelers, but I also look at a lot of different other teams too as well. I'm just a fan of the game, a fan of football, and I always follow like a lot of different my favorite positions are, of course, quarterbacks. So I know a lot about the quarterbacks and a lot about the edge rushers as well, like that. And stuff like that. Those are my favorite positions to watch and look for. And Brian Burns, ever since he got in the league, you see the consistency. He put up 7.5 sacks. I think 7 sacks his rookie year. I think he had 7 again. And then he had 10 and stuff like that. And just going out there and just playing amazing football. He's been pretty good throughout. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler as well. I think he's a 3-time Pro Bowler. Every year he's been in the league, I think he's been a Pro Bowler. He's been very consistent. He's been very underrated. And I feel like this year, since a lot more lights are on the Panthers as well, because they have the new coach, got a new quarterback coming in, big time Bryce Young coming in, the #1 draft pick. I think the light gonna get shined. He'll start getting recognition as well, and he should have a big time year, maybe an All-Pro year. Brian Burns is very, very good. Number 5, Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick is an amazing player, and he's been absolutely on a tear the past few years. And last year he finally got the recognition that he deserved, but he's been doing this for quite some time. Hassan Reddick, the way he's able to move, the way the Eagles built up their defense, the Eagles did so good of a job in getting trust in their players and instilling their players with a lot of trust and confidence as well. Especially when you build your defense up, your D line up, it gave Hassan Reddick the ability to do what he wants. Like that, we see him in different spots and different looks, and the way he gets to the quarterback. 16 sacks last year for Hassan Reddick. I believe, was it 16.5 or was it just 16 straight up? I think it was just 16 straight up, but 16 sacks, and he had 3 straight double-digit sack seasons as well. Hassan Reddick is on a tear, and he was in play for Defensive Player of the Year last year. I think he might get it this year like that. He's been playing at a very high level, and he's just been out there just dominating. So Hassan Reddick is that guy. Number 6, we got I had it backwards. Oh yeah, I forgot to switch it. That's why. Number 5 is Hassan Reddick. Number 6 is Max Crosby. Max Crosby, you know what he can do for the Raiders. Max Crosby he kind of built himself into it, because he started off a little slow, then he started building himself up, and then he started putting up the double-digit sack seasons and stuff like that. I feel like he still got to finish. Because some plays where I feel like he get in the backfield, he doesn't finish the play like that. We've seen the one come to mind is the Khalil Murray one, where Khalil Murray, you can't let Khalil Murray just break off you like that and then still be moving. I know Khalil Murray is very fast and shifty and stuff, but I feel like Max Crosby, once he started getting that presence, is not just being just different pass rushing, we start wreaking havoc in all different levels of the game, in the run game, and just start doing things like that more consistently, because he had 81 pressures. He was getting there and was causing other guys to eat as well. Chandler Jones is an amazing player too, so he had that 1-2 punch, that combo right there. So I think Max Crosby is going to be very good. He can continue to do this consistently. He's a Pro Bowler already as well, and he's on the right track. So he was at number 6. Hassan Reddick is at number 5. I had it backwards. Number 4. We got Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, super explosive, a very good pass rusher. Now that he's being a full-on DN like that, just being a full-on edge rusher, getting to the quarterback, you're finally going to see what Micah Parsons truly is about. Because at first they had him all over the field, different places. That's cool and all, but I prefer a player I like a player who's versatile, of course, but not like a guy who's in the front 7 to be versatile too much. You know what I mean? I want to just focus on one thing, and your best thing is to get your quarterback and wreak havoc, because we've seen him do it in a consistent basis over the past 2-3 years. Ever since he got in the league, he's been doing that. He's been very good, All-Pro, a Pro Bowler, and all that type of stuff. So, and a Defensive Player of the Year candidate multiple times. So him getting to the quarterback is his strong suit. We know he can do the coverage, and we know he can do different things and stuff like that, but we need him to just get to the quarterback like that. And I think this year the Cowboys are going to see him at a high level, and going to see how truly great he really is. Number 3, I got Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett makes everyone on his team on the defensive front job easy. He's so good in getting pressures and causing the quarterback to make mistakes and causing his other teammates to get sacks as well. And he's so good at getting the quarterback to himself as well. Double-digit sack seasons, a lot of double-digit sack seasons for him as well. And also in the run game as well. He's very good in the run game too. Myles Garrett is a freak of nature. He's an unstoppable force, very powerful force, and he's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year one day. And he's gonna be up there. And when he keep this up, he's gonna be, when all said and done, he's gonna see himself in the Hall of Fame someday. Myles Garrett is playing at a very high level, and he's in his prime, and he's out there feasting. On number 2, I have T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt last year he was injured, but what's good about T.J. Watt? The Steelers are 1-10? 1-10 when he doesn't play. That's a crazy record right there. The Steelers are 1-10 when T.J. Watt doesn't play. Like that. So T.J. Watt, last year, you remember he had the shoulder, was it minor pectoral muscle tear that he had? He missed by 8 or 9 weeks, so basically half the season, a little over half the season. But when he came back, the Steelers only won, because they won the first game with T.J. Watt. Then they won another game against the Buccaneers, and I know they lost to the Browns. So it was 1-1. They lost to the Patriots. They lost to the Jets. They lost to the Bills. They lost to the Dolphins, and they lost to the Eagles. So it was 1-7. T.J. Watt came back. They won. They won a win streak like that, and they finished that second half after the bye week with 7-2 record. And that's when they finished with 9-8 record. Well, it was 7-2 record or was it 8-2 record? No, 8-1 record, right? No, 2, because we lost to the Bengals and the Ravens like that. And they finished with a winning record because we beat the Bucs. So they had 2 in the first. We was 2-6 entering the bye week, and then they won 7, and they lost 2 like that. So T.J. Watt in play, he was out there causing, and then the sacks, everything went up too. It's kind of crazy because like when the Steelers didn't have T.J. Watt, those first those like 7 games like that, the sack total was like it was 8 sacks like that. And then when they did have T.J. Watt, it went up to 30 sacks in the second half of the season like that. So that's kind of crazy, like numbers of sacks like that. T.J. Watt is an amazing player, amazing force, and you see his presence and the importance of him on the team as well like that. And not only him getting to the quarterback, but him making everybody else's job easier as well on that front 7. In the run game, he's good, and he's also good in the pass game. If you consider him timing quarterbacks on throw and jumping up and picking it off. He had 2 interceptions last year. He had like a couple of them every year like that. Always happened because he just time it right, and they'll throw a low drive pass, and he just jump up and just get it and just wreak havoc and cause havoc. A lot of pass deflection. Steelers D linemen and edge rushers are very good at deflecting passes and stuff. T.J. Watt is an absolute force. And he's a former Defensive Player of the Year as well. He's a 3 or 4-time first-team All-Pro, multiple-time Pro Bowler as well. T.J. Watt is an absolute beast, and he's going to be a future Hall of Famer as well. Keep this up as well, too. Next is Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa, the reason he's number 1 on my list because he's the reigning Defensive Player of the Year. It's an absolute menace, absolute force out there at the 49ers. And now they added Javon Hargrave, so it's going to make it look even easier out there for Bosa. Bosa's an amazing player, and he's going to be a dominant force for some time to come. But this is my top 10 edge rushers in the NFL this season. Let me know if you like the list or not. Leave it in the comment section what your list is and who you add to the list or who you take out or who you move around. Let me know down below. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.